Hello. So for today, I wanted to do a recap on in-text referencing and the reference page. There's sneaky ways to get better marks. I know that we've gone over this in our bookwork, but that was a little while ago, so I want to make sure that you are across and understand how to do in-text referencing and your reference page. Again, these are two ways to get a better mark in your essays, in your descriptions, in your presentations. It's really, really important. Please pay careful attention. Have a pen and paper ready to make sure you start making your notes. I want you to make sure before you hand in your final draft, your first draft to me of your essays, that you make sure you have your in-text references and you have completed your reference page, and it is all in GAC format. So why is it important? First of all, it prevents plagiarism. Secondly, it confirms that you have evidence for your statements. As you know, this is a research essay. It is not an opinion piece, which means any point that you wish to make, anything that you want to tell the audience, you need to back it up with research using evidence. It also gives more strength to your argument, so it makes it more powerful. It enables you to get a better mark, which is what we all want. It's an academic skill that you're going to use at university, and it acknowledges who said what. So it's really, really, really important. If you don't use in-text referencing and you give me a rubbish reference page, you're just going to get a 0 for that particular area of the overall assessment. Will it change in level 3? No, you should have been doing these in level 1. I'm not sure why many of you are not aware of in-text referencing or the reference page, but we will rectify and fix that problem. You will use the same format for in-text referencing and your reference sheet in level 2 and level 3. When you get to university, you will be using in-text referencing and probably a very similar format to the GAC format. The GAC format is based on the American and Canadian university format. You must use this format in all of your essays, all of your written work, all of your presentations, all of your seminars, and all of your descriptions. Marks will be taken off if you do not use the GAC format. Do we understand that it's important? Yes, wonderful. What is in-text referencing? So it's used for quotes or paraphrases of an author. So when you've quoted or paraphrased an article or an author, you need to use in-text referencing. It refers to the person by last name and the date the information was written, the date the article was written, not the date you've looked at it, but the date the article was written. So you need to make sure you get that information when you do your research helpers. It is placed at the end of the quote or the paraphrased information. So what does it look like? For a quote, you can see that we've got quotation marks here and here. It is essential that all GAC students use the correct referencing formats in order not to fail. The person who said that was Fiona Leek. So we've put my last name here, Leek, and the date that you quoted, the date that I said it, which is 2020. For a paraphrase point, it looks like this. So this information, they basically paraphrase this quote, so they've changed the words around, but you still need to reference me. It has been confirmed that using the GAC reference format is a simple way to increase your overall marks. So when I say it has been confirmed, if I write that in an essay, I need to say who it's been confirmed by. And that's, now I've got Leak 2020. So the person reading this essay goes, oh, it has been confirmed. They're not just saying it, they're not just making it up. So this is what it looks like right here. I just wanted to recap different ways to quote. So let's look at short quotations to start off with. So if you're doing a short quote, you can put it within the actual text, okay? So it's just within the paragraph, flowing with the paragraph. However, for a short quote, you do need to have quotation marks. So you see these quotation marks that we have here? And we have the full stop before the quotation mark. So full stop means I've finished that sentence. Quotation means that this is the end of that quote. Now I'm going to use my own words, okay? Now, for a longer quote, this doesn't happen very commonly, but you might find a very specific long quote that you think, I can't paraphrase this, it's too powerful, I want to keep it as it is. And for this, we actually leave a space. So what's that? According to someone, so Guruk Mosca, who we're talking to, and we've got our commas here. Then we've got our quote. You can see that there's a slight indent. So then we've got one space, slight indent. And then they've entered just one here. And here we've got open bracket, surname, date that it was quoted, and close bracket. So that's all you need to do. You see how this has been indented? So I know this is a quote. Now, for those of you thinking, oh, this is a really easy way to get my 1,000 words, it's not. These big quotes, they're not counted in your word count, okay? Your writing is counted in the word count. Also, your reference, the words in your reference, also not included in your word count. Okay. Now, this is for your final reference sheet. So we'll talk about that in a moment, but I just want to go over the format again. So we've got, so for this one, there wasn't an author, and so that's why there's no author at the beginning. If there is an author, we'll do that, but we'll look at it in a second. So I've got the title of the the article, and I've put this in italics, so calculating GDP, and then the year the article was published, the year it was published. Again, we've got open bracket, date, close bracket. We have a comma, short space, mind tools. So this is the title of the journal or where you've got it from. So if it's from the World Health Organization, you'd write World Health Organization here, okay? Then all of your articles, I imagine, are going to be online unless some of you have some academic journals at home hidden away. But we've got a square bracket, open square bracket, online, close square bracket, and a full stop. Short space, available from brackets, and we've got the website, okay? And then square bracket open, accessed 24 July 2011, close bracket, okay? So access 24, that is the date that you looked at the document, okay? The date that you looked at the article. So this one is date of publication, and this is the date of the article. Here we've got something very similar, Mackenzie I, so this is the author, full stop, open bracket, year of publication, close bracket, comma. In italics, we've got the title of the article. Has mobile working come of age? And then we've got where it's come from. So in this case, it's from BBC News. Again, square bracket, open, online, close square bracket, full stop. Available from, brackets, website, open square bracket, access 24 July 2011. Again, this is the day they looked at that website. So just to go over, you will lose marks if you haven't followed, you will lose marks if you have not followed this format exactly. The first date is the date of publication. The second date is the date you looked at the article. And also, I've had one student who actually wrote in some websites on their reference sheet pretending they'd done all of this research. Now, I often will click on the website just to double check that this information up here is the same as the website and that the website is real and the website refers or relates to your topic. So if you think you're going to jump online and grab a whole heap of websites and pretend to do the research and pretend to do the reference sheet, you're going to be in very big trouble and you will only be able to get 55%. I've had one student in 11A do this, and because of this, no one else gets an opportunity. It is cheating, it is inappropriate, and it will result in you failing and only getting 55% overall. Okay. So the reference sheet is at the end of your essay. So it needs to be on a separate page to the last page of your essay. So it needs a page all by itself. The title needs to be bold and center. You can see here, bold and center, and it just says reference list. You need to follow the GAC format in terms of the actual quoting the references, and you can see that Steve has done a really good job here and used the GAC format. There needs to be a full space between each reference. This is so that someone that reads it can actually identify that these are separate, especially when you've got something really long like this. Okay, so make sure that there is a nice little gap between each of the references. At level 2, you require a minimum of 7 references. So I need 7 academic references. That doesn't mean that you use the same article 5 times. There's 7 separate academic references. Please use the same font and size as the rest of your essay. So this will be the same font and size as the rest of his essay. And that is all. Okay, so we know in-text referencing is required. So every time you do give some specific information and you need to prove that information, you pop in a reference if you referred to an article, and make sure you've got a nice, clean, clear, and appropriately formatted reference list at the end. So please continue working on your essays. As I said in your first draft, I want to see this in-text referencing, and I need to see your reference sheet in the correct format. Thanks very much, and I will see you next class.